Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan, also the North Central Chaplain for Broken Chains JC. Today is April 2nd, 2024. We will be looking at Proverbs chapter 2, and we're going to look at verse 6 and then also verse 10 through something. Verse 6 says, "For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding." Actually, I'm just going to keep reading. Verse 6, "For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes understanding. He stores up success for the upright. He is a shield for those who live with integrity, so that he may guard the paths of justice and protect the ways of his loyal followers. Then you will understand righteousness, justice, and integrity, every good path. For wisdom will enter your mind, and knowledge will delight your heart. Discretion will watch over you, and understanding will guard you, rescuing you from the way of evil, from the one who says perverse things, from those who abandon the right path to walk in the ways of darkness." It goes on from there. The one thing that I notice in this morning is that so often we look to chase after wisdom, chase after knowledge. And we know that wisdom and that knowledge is going to be our protection. It's going to care for us. It's going to take care of us. It's going to keep us out of danger if we just have it, right? And that's true. God tells us we should be seeking wisdom and knowledge, cherishing it more than silver and gold. But what we forget is it's God that gives the wisdom and the knowledge. And if we want to be rescued from the way of evil and from those who speak perverse things, that discretion, that understanding that guards us, that wisdom, that knowledge, it's a gift from God, and only God gives it. We have our part, but we receive it from God, much like salvation. We can't be saved by works. But James tells us it's really hard to be saved and not have works. And so we get that muddied because both have to be present. Which one comes first, the chicken or the egg? It's a big argument. We can make the argument both ways and make logical sense of it all. But when it comes down to it, wisdom and knowledge, discretion and understanding, we have no ability to produce. And the only way we get it is seeking the one that provides it. Seek wisdom and knowledge, Solomon tells us that we have to seek that with all of our heart. But God also told us we had to seek him with all of our heart, our mind, and our soul. And that's the first and greatest command. And so I want you to understand today, if you want that protection, you want to be rescued from all the evil, you want to understand those things, the only way you get it is the greatest work of all. And it's not a work. It's a desire that turns you in the direction that you need to go. People think that, well, I can't really do that because I got to work my job and I've got to provide for my family, and if I did that all the time, I would be useless to the world. And I'm here to tell you, the reality is the more you do it, the more beneficial you are to your boss, your family, yourself, your neighborhood, your community, your church, Everything around you benefits when you put all your focus on God. You become so much more productive in your life that it's unbelievable. The blessings that come outweigh everything. And you don't do it for the blessings. And yet they just keep coming. I've met people that the blessings keep coming and they actually lament that it's too much. They can't handle it. And I get it, because it's so easy to turn back to yourself when you do that. But here's the thing, guys. All of the protections that you need to live your life in that prosperous life that God, abundant life that God promised, comes not because you're chasing after the abundance, but because you're chasing after the abundant one. Solomon knew what he was talking about. David knew what he was talking about. Jesus knew what he was talking about. If you want to argue with anyone, let's go to him. He said it too. Paul, Peter, James, John, all of them, even Moses, all said the same thing. Put our focus on God first and foremost, and life changes. And we're protected from those evil thoughts. You know, one of my devotions this morning, might have been YouVersion's verse of the day. Guard your heart in all that you do, right? Persevere. Put your focus on God. Think of him in all your ways. It's an important message to remember. And when we do that, the enemy, he cannot stand up to it. He will come against it. He can't stand up to it. We don't war against flesh and blood, but against all the enemies of this world. But we can't war against it if we don't have the weapons to do the warfare. The weapons are God and our focus on him. Directly proportional to our focus on God is our protection. It's an important remembrance to have. Guys, I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.